Night Cherry, living life so merry with a compost pile full of comic books. It's my sanctuary, crowdfunded pages. Always late to my mailbox, but each one's compost gold, worth the wait around the clock. Late night comic compost, stories waiting to be told in the stillness of the night. Potential unfolds. From superheroes to fantasy, they cause people grants. Late night comic compost, for when paper expands. Memories of creators, grifting with hearts and souls into each panel. A disaster unrolls, lost in the pages, transported to far off lands in the glow of midnight. My heart understands. Late night comic compost, stories waiting to be told in the stillness of the night. Potential unfolds. From superheroes to fantasy, they cause people grants. Late night comic compost, when paper expands. Through the laughter and tears, the heroes and fears, these comics have held gardens through the years. I've found a good use, which they did not before. Late night comic compost, bad books galore. Late night comic compost, shitty stories waiting to be told in the stillness of the night. Stole money and fall from superheroes to fantasy, they cost people grants. Late night comic compost, but white paper expands. Late night comic compost, stories waiting to be told in the stillness of the night. Stolen money unfolds. From superheroes to fantasy, they cost people grants. Late night comic compost, but when the paper expands.
Boy, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. That was the Burka Man song. About myself, Midnight Cherry TV guys. Everybody's got a Burka Man song. Everybody, if you're a cool person on the street, you've got a Burka Man song made about you. And of course, Midnight Cherry does one of the early ones there. Well, welcome guys. We're at the Midnight Cherry TV warehouse. If you can't tell, this is it's we're moving in, guys. We're moving in. Let me show you. I got some boxes back there, of course. I got the cherry lore boxes there. Hopefully you can see those. I keep my stuff labeled, guys. I keep my stuff labeled, ready to go at a moment's notice. Just like heat, you gotta be able to leave anywhere within 90 seconds, and that includes the Midnight Cherry TV studio, which is what you see here, guys. We got of course, the warehouse. I got some quick setup. We're doing a state of the channel. It's been a while. I feel bad for all you Cherry viewers out there, all you Cherry fans. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, guys. I even found some things. I got these the Cherry Galore recipes right here. Cherries galore. Everybody loves their cherries, except a lot of those out there in the comics world, the comic book world. But let's take a look. We got a couple people viewing. Let's see who's in the chat here off the rip. We got, of course, Big Steve. Shout out to Big Steve. He was in the Comicsgate, the downfall of Comicsgate documentary, exposing war campaigns, hierarchy from Ethan. Good stuff there from Big Steve. And then Tree Goblin. And of course, we got, I'm always going to fuck up the name, so I won't even try. We got Rhino 4563. On this day, Cherry came back. Yeah, we're coming back. We're at the warehouse here. We're at the warehouse, guys. I don't know if you can sell the Bangers boxes, of course, moving stuff around. Some frames there in the background. Through the tablecloth on there. And I said, hey, you know what? Let me stream. Let me do a little Cherry Awards. You know, there's been a lot of discussion amongst the Cherry faithful about all the award show shenanigans going on out there in the Comics Gate world. So so we thought we'd do our own here. I've got all these nominee cards here, a lot of categories to get through. So I hope you're excited about that. But yeah, I just want to give you a quick state of the channel address. So we are going to get this set up. We're going to do a cool set. Oh boy, we got clocks falling at the new studio. It's ghosts. We got ghosts in the new studio, I think. But we're talking about we're going to do an EFAP of the Dark Rift Vic King JDA, talking about my video about Testify from back in the day. You know, give EFAP it a couple years after it happened. It's going to take me a while to get through it, but I'm gonna get to it eventually. We're also going to have another season of Daily Disc for you compact disc music fans out there. And then also, this kind of a big news here. All of the old Midnight Cherry TV content, starting from the Comicsgate days into the Today Back in the Day, all the Midnight Cherry TV content will be available anytime to you. It'll be available in your pocket, available by Midnight Cherry Max Plus. That's going to be a new channel on YouTube, Midnight Cherry Max Plus. It's going to have all of my old content, all of the old Midnight Cherry content, all the Today Back in the Days, the comic and a candle, Lego and a light fixture, all the old stuff, all the live streams. There will be all of the Midnight Cherry TV content available in one location, available anytime you want it on Midnight Cherry Max Plus, and that'll be a new channel. Now we've gotten all of that out of the way. State of the channel address. Let me sip a little coffee here. Okay, delicious. The thing I love about a good Midnight Cherry TV stream here, guys, for myself, is that, you know, it doesn't matter how many people are viewing it now. We got Rhino, we got the Big Steve, got a couple people in the chat maybe, but, you know, it doesn't matter what's going on now. It matters, you know, with all of the seething and coping and seething that will inevitably happen here when I go through these categories, as well as the 5 nominees per category. You know, we had of course come up with the nominees as well, so we might as well get started here with the nominees. Let me get this ready here. We want to do this kind of we want to do this professionally here, like some real nominees. But again, this is the I'm redoing the CG Awards. A lot of controversy out there about the Comicsgate Awards. That's on somebody else's channel. People trying to do their own Comicsgate Awards, but over here at Midnight Cherry TV, we're going to start off with Biggest Simp, guys. Biggest Simp. Here we go. Let's go through Biggest Simp here. The first nominee for Biggest Simp is Finatra. R.I.P. Finatra, guys. I haven't seen Finatra around a little bit, but we still got him down there as the Biggest Simp. You know, pretty good stuff there. Let's see. We got nominee 2, Frog Tony. There it is, Frog Tony. Fag Tony, also known as Fag Tony, drinks about 4 or 5 Monster Energy drinks a day. He is on the Biggest Simp Award here. Nominee 3, 7 and 9. Now that's the first gay simp on the category here. We don't know about Fag Tony sexual preference, but we do know 7 and 9 is pretty gay. He's on the nominees for Biggest Simp. Then we got Dark Rift Comics. There he is, guys. Dark Rift Comics, your fourth nominee. And then let's see what we got last here. These here. Peter Gilmore, guys. Peter Gilmore, of course. If you're not familiar with Peter Gilmore, this guy, he's Mandy Summers' Biggest Simp. He collects her various underwear, panties, things of that nature, guys. That's where that is. Pretty sad stuff. Pretty sad stuff. You got to include Peter Gilmore on the biggest simp list category. So there's your 5 nominees for biggest simps. Let's see if I can zoom in, get this a little bit bigger here. There's the biggest simp categories right there. Of course, the next category we have right here, guys, is least entertaining. Least entertaining. Let's see if I can't zoom in on the power of Midnight Cherry TV technology. Zoom in here. Zoom in right about there, guys. Right about there. Get real close with you here. Look at the least entertaining. Let's see what we got here. We got number 1, John Malin. Of course, John Malin, a comic book artist, can't really draw guns, can't really draw feet, hands, anything of sort of kind of high detail. Kind of fails at that. But as far as a YouTuber, he is fairly unentertaining. Kind of just very feminine. He's kind of a victim cry bully, if you will. So we got to put him on the list. Least entertaining there, John Malin. Nominee number 1. Let's go. There we go. Frog Tony. Again, Fag Tony, Frog Tony, number 1. Number 2, John Malin. Number 3, guys, Dark Grift. Dark Grift Comics. Of course, I mean, again, these 3 people are very unentertaining. Kind of just brutal people to watch, guys. There we got Michael Bancroft. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I've never watched a Michael Bancroft stream. I find that it's just boring content, guys. So I have to put him on here. I don't, maybe your mileage may vary. You might enjoy Michael Bancroft, but I got to put him on there. Least entertaining. And of course, 5th is well-read user, guys. Well-read user. There's your nominees, guys. There's your nominees for least entertaining here at the Cherry, redoing the CG Awards here on a Thursday afternoon here in Americatown, as Risey may call it. But there we go. Let's see what we got here. There's least entertaining. We got biggest simp. We're through 2 categories here. We're gonna go through all of these categories here at some point here to end today's stream. Most laughable fake tough guy. Now, this is, of course, is a tough category. I want you to think about it. Who could be in this category, guys? Fake tough guys. There's so many in Comicsgate, the comic book world. It's nerds who think they're tough. It's a sad, sad predicament. All right. Most level fake tough guy. We got nominee number 1. John Malin, of course. You got to put John Malin on there. If ever there was a dictionary entry for fake tough guy, John Malin would be right up there on the top of the list, guys. But let's see what we got here going. All right. Number 2, Captain Chokeout. Now, this guy, I wasn't too familiar with. I've seen him in a few videos. He seems fairly like a blowhard, obnoxious blowhard, but definitely a laughable fake tough guy. Johnny Scab. Now, Johnny Scab, if you're not familiar, made that crazy video saying he was going to eat Matt Barr, I think. I don't remember. It was something crazy. He wears a mask a lot. An absolute psychopath-looking person, but I just feel like you're in Comicsgate, you're British. I just feel like you got to be a pussy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it's a bit laughable to me, guys. Johnny Scab there. Number 4, Frog Tony. Now, Frog Tony is in all of these categories, guys. Frog Tony, least entertaining, biggest simp, and now most laughable fake tough guy. If you're a Frog Tony stan, if you're a Frog Tony fan, I don't know if there's any out there, but if there is, you got to be excited about these nominees here. Pretty good stuff, guys. And then your final one is TJ, guys. TJ, again, a black comic book nerd that spends a lot of time streaming. He can't be that tough. That is just how that works. But most laughable fake tough guy, Malin, Captain Chokeout, Johnny Scab, Frog Tony, TJ. There's your nominees. We're 3 categories in, guys. Let's keep it going here. Let's see what the next one is. The next category, fakest Hispanic, guys. Fakest Hispanic. I want you to think about that one for a minute. We're gonna look at that one. Fakest Hispanic. Who could this be? Who will it be? There we go. We got Art Bell popping in the chat here. Let's see, fakest Hispanic. Let's see these. Again, this is a category in the new CG Awards as presented by myself, Midnight Cherry TV. We'll find out the winners soon enough. Maybe this weekend here we'll find out the winners. But let's continue on the journey here. Fakest Hispanic. Number 1, Dillard, John Dillard. Fakest Hispanic again is the category here. We got Tree Goblin in the chat. How's it going? But our first in the fakest Hispanic category, John Dillard. Number 2, guys. Number 2, John Delarose, JDA, science fiction number 1 wife beater. That is John Delarose. Also a fake Hispanic, guys. I think he shows him in the category right there. We got 2 out of the 5 nominees. Number 3, Dario. If you have not seen his cocaine-addled rant about Risey and other people, guys, it is fairly entertaining. You got to put him on the list here. Fakest Hispanic. Number 4, Finatra. Now, Finatra, again, shows up the second time in the night. So give Finatra a shout out. He's nominated twice here on the CG Awards. Biggest Simp, and now Fakest Hispanic. He's doing pretty good here. And then your 5th and final nominee, Jay Dalla. Jay Dalla, of course, another fake Hispanic. He is your 5th and final nominee. There's your fakest Hispanic nominees, guys. Dillard, JDA, Dario, Finatra, and Jay Dalla. So looking pretty good, guys. We got 4 categories done. 4 categories done. We're moving through this pretty fast. We got next category is most embarrassing CG crossover. Most embarrassing CG crossover, guys. And I want you to think about that. I'm gonna hit this vape nation over here, guys. As I think about think about all the crossovers, the collabs, if you will, CGX blank collabs they've done through the time, and what would be the most embarrassing? All right. Number 1, guys. Number 1, Dick and Vito, of course. Now, that's a recent one. That's a more recent one. But you have to include it on the list. Dick and Vito. Number 2, LawTube. LawTube, of course, that includes Rakita Law, coke-addled Rakita Law. That's the second time I've used the term coke-addled here on this stream. What does that tell you about Comicsgate? But LawTube. Number 3, Fandom Menace. Number 3, Fandom Menace. Of course, your geeks and gamers, your Nerdrotic. I don't remember half of this shit, guys. This is it's rough to even remember half of this bullshit. But number 4, the Ed Piskor suicide. So, of course, if you're unfamiliar, there's a lot of Comicsgate people jumped on the suicide both before and after the Ed Piskor suicide, whether you were kind of forcing him into the suicide or you were sad about him dying at the end. A lot of people in CG were involved in the Ed Piskor suicide, so you have to add that to the most embarrassing CG crossover categories here, or nominees. And then your final nominee is the U.S. Sex Crime Task Force. That's, of course, a Comicsgate collab crossover with the U.S. Sex Crimes Task Force. Of course, that would involve Vic King, Slick Jimmy. Boy, I mean, the list goes on, guys. The list goes on. But there it is. Most embarrassing CG crossover. Dick and Vito, LawTube, Fandom Menace, the Ed Piskor suicide, and the U.S. Sex Crimes Task Force. There we go. That is a quality category here. Most embarrassing CG crossover. We got our next category. Next category out there, guys. We got Nastiest Vagina. Nastiest Vagina. Of course, there's a lot of women involved in Comicsgate, the Comicsgate adjacent related world. So we're not gonna look at it. We're not gonna look at these nasty vaginas. We're gonna briefly go through them real quick here. I'm gonna try to go through this as quick as I can. Mandy, Sheila, Mint Salad, Chrissy Merritt, of course. Shout out to Red Bar Radio, and then Star Wars girl Anna. There's your nominees for Nastiest Vagina: Mandy, Sheila, Mint Salad, Chrissy Merritt, Star Wars girl Anna. Another category here going pretty good here. Now, these two categories might be a little controversial, guys. Best Lord Raptor Jesus guest. Now, I'm sure Lord Raptor Jesus, it's early in the day here. He's probably working, putting asphalt on this ground, working a blue collar American job out there, guys. But he streams about 9 hours a night when he does stream. So best Lord Raptor Jesus guest. We're gonna go through these pretty quick here. DA Talks, number 1. Number 2, Risey Lee, of course, Australia's favorite son. Of course, Wiggle Wiggle, another quality nominee. Other Risey. Now, if you're not familiar with Other Risey, that Other Risey is one of the many versions of Risey that you may encounter on the internet. And he's another great LRJ guest. And of course, Chris Stanley. Good job, Chris Stanley. Shout out to Chris Stanley, the fifth nominee for the best Lord Raptor Jesus guest. DA Talks, Risey, Wiggle Wiggle, Other Risey, and Chris Stanley. Of course, that is another great category. Now, that might be controversial, but if you're in the know, you watch the Lord Raptor Jesus show. So you're going to know, you're going to have your least and favorite guests. The next category here is worst Lord Raptor Jesus guest. Now, of course, we already did best Lord Raptor Jesus guest. We got to go to the worst. I'm having some coffee, guys, here. I'm going to see what's going on. We got, people keep popping in and out, probably getting upset about the old Comicsgate world. Drinking that nice cherry coffee. We got our various cherry items everywhere. It wouldn't be a Midnight Cherry stream without it. But let's see what we got here. We got Art Bell Tree Goblin. Richie says, I met Other Risey at the Glory Hole. Of course, that is where sometimes you meet Other Risey. But let's fly through these guys. We got worst Lord Raptor Jesus guest. We got 5 nominees to get through. Number 1, Dark Grift Comics. Now, Dark Grift, of course, was, I believe, biggest simp and least entertaining. So this is his 3rd nomination of the night. Congratulations. Number 2, TJ. Again, a 2nd nomination. This is going to, worst, best Lord Raptor Jesus guest. Might be have a couple nominees here. Number 3, 7 and 9. Of course, also biggest simp nominee. Then we got any female. So, of course, any woman that has appeared on Lord Raptor Jesus, that is the 4th nominee. Just all of them, guys. Any of them, doesn't matter. You got to put them on the nominee. And then finally, Chris Stanley again. So Chris Stanley makes the worst and best. I don't know how that's possible, but only Chris Stanley. There's your best and worst LRJ guest according to the my redo of the Cherry Awards. Dark Grift, TJ, 7 and 9, any female, and then Chris Stanley, guys. So that's a worst Lord Raptor Jesus guest. That's another category in the books. We'll take a look at the winners here in a few, maybe a day or two. We got another exciting category. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories left, guys. This is going to be a banger of an award show. I hope you're excited for the next one. Most feminine cry yell. Most feminine cry yell, that would be like, I don't even know how to describe, sort of when that voice breaks, when that voice gets too high when you're yelling, I'm excited. I can't even do it for fake. But most feminine cry yell, let's take a look at these nominees. It's going to be a pretty exciting list here. Number 1, John Malin, another strong nomination. Congratulations, John Malin. He's the least entertaining, as well as a couple other ones there. We've got Ethan, of course, most feminine cry yell. Of course, if you're familiar with him, you've heard it a couple times. Dark Grift Comics, now that may be controversial, but if you ever heard him get real heated, he does have a very distinctive comic creator cry yell, as I like to call it. Number 4, Yellow Flash. Of course, and number 5, Shane Davis. Of course, Shane Davis, you get him drunk enough, you get him riled up enough, you hear that kind of cry yell. So there's your most feminine cry yell. John Malin, Ethan, Dark Grift, Yellow Flash, Shane Davis. One more category through. Of course, if you were here at the beginning of the stream, if you watched the intro, we listened to a Burka Man song. So, of course, we got to do the best Burka Man song category here. Let's fly through these. We got Hide Those Dogs. that cider guy from Maine, Malin the Whitest Knight, Crowdfunder Comic Compost, and of course, Ball Washing Intensifies, guys. Ball Washing Intensifies, kind of the dark horse there. If you're a viewer of Dean and Vicky, you might be familiar, but there it is. Hide Those Dogs. That cider guy from Maine, Malin the Whitest Knight, Crowdfunder Comic Compost, of course, the Midnight Cherry Song, and Ball Washing Intensifies. All of your quality Burkerman songs. If you haven't listened to his YouTube, go check out those AI algorithm songs. Now, of course, we did look at the the Fakest Hispanic. Of course, now we got to look at the Blackest Token, guys. The Blackest Token. Blackest Token. That's the new category here. Of course, 5 nominees. Let's see what we got here. Number 1, Eric July, of course. Eric July, the biggest name in Black people in the Comicsgate world, of course, Eric July. Number 2, TJ. TJ, always out in these Comicsgate streets. You got to put TJ on there as the Blackest Token. Number 3, Black Daddy, of course. A war campaign. He pops up in the chats nowadays. He's kind of around the town. Number 4, Big Steve, of course. That's my own personal Midnight Cherry TV token. I do love myself, Big Steve. We started as enemies, and now we're internet friends, even though there's no friends on the internet. But I do love me some Big Steve, so I had to put him on the list. He's my favorite black guy of the Comicsgate world. So why not put him on the list? And of course, your 5th nominee is Alasmat. Alasmat. Now his blackness may be under question. But here he is in the nominees: Blackest Token, Eric July, TJ, Black Daddy, Big Steve, and Alasmat. So depending on what kind of world, what kind of side of the world they're in, you might have a different black token that you love. It might be your favorite. Of course, the next category we got is a personal one, the most cherry triggered. Of course, we got number 1, Ethan. Of course, brought my name up multiple times. Cherry symbol is a Nazi symbol. Darker Comics, of course, easy one. War Campaign back in the day, of course. They'll always remember the Midnight Cherry. Rosetta, of course, Penis Juice out there, the autistic warrior. And Comicsgate as a whole. So that is the most cherry triggered. Ethan, Dark Grift, War Campaign, Rosetta, and Comicsgate. So there's again, a quality 5 nominees. And we got 2 categories left, guys. 2 categories left. We got 1 and 2 here. Only 2 left. They're probably my 2 favorite categories of the whole award show, the whole experiment, if you will, here, guys. So we're pretty excited about that. Let me see what's going on in the chat. We got people laughing at that. Blackest Token, possibly. But 2 more categories here, as I said. So the 2 big ones here. The second to final category we have here, guys. Most sympathetic family member. Now, these are all family members that you just feel bad for. You feel bad for whether it was the man or the men and women or whoever may be that they're related to or married to or blood relatives with, whatever it may be, guys. There's a lot of Comicsgate family members that are sympathetic characters you feel bad for. How could they be married to this person? How could they have this sort of life? Being that close to a Comicsgate person. So most sympathetic family member, a very serious category, guys, a very serious category, but we'll see if we can try to get through all 5 nominees. Number 1 nominee, Ethan's wife. Ethan's wife, of course, has some physical problems now. You got to feel bad about that. But again, at the other side of this, she did marry Ethan. So that is, that's a point against her there on the other side of it. We got to look at both sides of the coin there, both sides of the rafter coin, if you will. Number 2, JDA's ex-wife, of course. Now, you got to feel bad for her. She took some physical beatings at the hands of 4'8" John De La Rose. So you got to feel bad about that. But again, on the other side of the coin, she did marry John Della Rose. So that's a point against her again, just as Ethan's wife. Number 3, Ethan's daughter. Oof, ouch. Now, she can't choose her family. So again, that might be a winner right there. That might be an early winner. If not for Shane and Yanzi's kid, and if you're not familiar, they named their kid Pterodactyl because they're fucking idiots. Shane Davis and Yanzi, the Chinese government media plant, their child is named Pterodactyl. That is not a lie. That is terrible. That is embarrassing. You are bad parents. Shane Davis and Yanzi, you are legitimately bad parents. And I feel sorry for your child that you named Pterodactyl. It's fucking ridiculous. And number 5, Malin's wife, guys. John Malin's wife, Faye, I believe is her name, as he might have told us on the stream the other day. But most sympathetic family member, Ethan's wife, JDA's ex-wife, Ethan's daughter, Shane and Yanzi's kid, and Malin's wife. So there's your most sympathetic family member. You got to feel bad. Who do you feel bad for the most? Who do you feel bad for the most? Which of these family members just really is a sad? It just makes you sad about Comicsgate. Makes you sad that these people, have to be related to these people in some way, and it becomes kind of a sad situation, guys. But that of course brings us to the final category, guys. The final category. I'm going to expose all the nominees there. But most deserving of the truck, guys. Most deserving of the truck. A big time category, guys. Most deserving of the truck. If you know what that means, you know what it means. And if you don't, ask somebody who does. Most deserving of the truck. Nominee number 1, Comicsgate supporters. Comicsgate supporters. Now, this would be anybody from the YouTubers to the reviewers to the backers. A large swath of people going on the truck. Now, where are they going? The cherry camps, of course. But again, Comicsgate supporters. Nominee number 1. Nominee number 2, comic book readers. Now, an even bigger group of people than just Comicsgate supporters. All comic book readers. All comic book readers. Now, that to me, if I'm looking from the outside in, that might be a leading vote getter. Comic book readers. Number 3, nominee number 3, anime fans. Anime fans. Now, you might have friends that are anime fans. You yourself might be an anime fan. But they do deserve to be on this nominee list. Most deserving of the truck. Comicsgate supporters, comic book readers, anime fans. We got 2 nominees left. Who will they be? Who will the nominees be for most deserving of the truck? Number 4, Dean and Vicky Pay Pigs. Dean and Vicky Pay Pigs, guys. So, of course, we're all fans of Dean and Vicky over here. But the Pay Pigs, guys, you do deserve on the truck. And I think Dean would even agree with me that the Dean and Vicky Pay Pigs do deserve to be on the truck, going on the truck to the cherry camps. But again, Dean and Vicky Pay Pigs is your fourth nominee, and your final nominee of most deserving of the truck, that damn Raptor Jesus crew. Of course, you have to be careful about that damn Raptor Jesus crew, guys. Again, another group deserving of the truck, but most deserving of the truck, Comicsgate supporters, comic book readers, anime fans, Dean and Vicky Pay Pigs, and that damn Raptor Jesus crew. There is the categories, guys. There is the categories. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Let me see if anybody new going on. Tree Goblin talking about weebs. Nobody likes weebs, guys. That is never. It's always gross, guys. Weebs are always the worst. But we've been streaming for 35 minutes, guys. It took me a long time to go through all of these nominees. I hope when you EFAP this, you enjoyed going through these nominees here, guys. Let's fire through these one more time for all those maybe joining late. Of course, we got most deserving of the truck. We got most sympathetic family member, most cherry triggered, blackest token, best Berkaman song, most feminine cry yell, worst LRA guest, best LRA guest, nastiest vagina, interesting category, most embarrassing CG crossover, fakest Hispanic, most laughable fake tough guy, least entertaining, biggest simp. There's your categories, your nominees. We've made it through. We're done. We're done here at Midnight Cherry Tea for right now. We made it through. We will do the award show. I'm going to throw on maybe some maybe a nice suit jacket here. Present you to the winners. We'll get this popping the right way here, guys. But for Midnight Cherry, that's again the categories, the nominees. We're here at the warehouse. We're just settling in. We got a new place here. We're gonna be streaming a lot more here at Midnight Cherry TV. But thanks to all you guys for coming. Hope you enjoyed the categories. Please leave a comment in the video. Tell me who you want to win, maybe a category or a nominee that I forgot. And we'll see you again here at Midnight Cherry TV.